Welcome back to yoga. Today we're doing ajna or third eye yoga. So our mantras and our meditations will be around the third eye. So the third eye is located between and above the brows right here. You can take your fingertips for a moment, maybe one, maybe two, and just move in a circular motion or maybe just a light tapping on the third eye. And closing the eyes here, sitting nice and tall. Breathing in and out of the nose. And remember, the third eye is the pineal gland. So above and between the brows, and then start to move back between left and right brain and towards the back part of the skull here into the upper cervical vertebrae. So if you had a line that went all the way through, pineal gland is directly in the center. And remember that the pineal gland is shaped, you can imagine it's shaped like a pine cone, which it is. And we're going to come into our Bija mantra Om, but we're also going to add our vowel sound to it, which is the sound of A. So we're actually going to start off at A, and the whole breath will be A to O. So we'll move through both of these mantras. We'll do it 3 times. Let's go ahead and inhale. A, O. Inhale to AO. A. Last one. Inhale to AO. AO. And then we'll just inhale to Om, long sound of Om. Om. Keeping the eyes closed, breathing in and out of the nose. And as we imagine the third eye being an indigo blue, I have the right to connect to my higher self. I have the right to connect to my intuition and to tap into my divine feminine wisdom. And when we're ready, we can start to open the eyes. Let's start by rolling through the shoulders. Still working with the breath here. Forward, up as we inhale. Exhale, squeezing back and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Inhaling, forward and up. Exhale, rolling back and down. Let's move the opposite direction. Squeeze the shoulders back. Inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, rolling forward and down. Inhale, moving back. Up. Exhale, forward, down. Inhale, back and up. And exhale, forward and down. Let's go ahead and inhale, lengthen through the arms, stretching up, stretching through the fingertips. We're going to bring the gaze up, lifting the gaze. And let's exhale, bring the chin back down into the chest. Inhale, lengthening back up between the arms. Exhale, chin into chest. Inhale, lengthen. And this time, let's exhale, release the hands slowly back down to our sides. Let's extend through the legs into our seated straddle here. Grab a belt if you need one. This will help. Make sure that we get in the right place. You could also use a blanket like I'm using under my glutes. This will help elevate a little bit, help lengthen through the back so that we can sit tall. Make sure those toes are up towards the ceiling. Take a few deep breaths, lengthen through the back. Let's grab a hold of belt if you have one. If you don't, no worries. Bringing it across the lap for now. And then let's twist. So as we're lengthened through the back, we're going to twist, looking over the left shoulder. One more breath here. As we exhale, let's actually face that leg. So we have shoulders squared off to that leg, heart center to knee, head to knee. We're going to bring the belt around the ball of the foot while the toes point upward. Grab the belt in each hand. Lengthen back tall. Let the shoulders roll back and down. Start to draw the heart forward. You can soften those elbows as you draw the heart forward. Maybe some of us, this is as far as we go. Some of us, we can start to bring that heart down towards the leg. We can cinch up on our belt. We can use the hands on the leg as well, or the hands on the floor to stabilize ourselves. Nice deep breaths here. And let's exhale. We're going to come back up from that. Bring the belt again across the lap if you have one. Sit nice and tall, lengthen through the back, tuck those abs in. We're still moving with that root lock, our Muladhara Bandha, our root lock. We'll just call it in English today. And let's go ahead and twist here, looking over the shoulder. And as we start to release from that twist, remember we're facing our other leg. Toes are still up towards the ceiling for both legs extended. We're trying to move shoulders squared off, heart squared off, head squared off to the knee. Toes upward. You can use the belt around the ball of the foot. Both hands here as we lift tall. As we exhale, starting to draw the heart forward. The shoulders roll down and back. We're having a flat back. We're drawing the heart forward, softening or bending the elbows. And just working with that breath. Let the breath expand through the legs as the exhales relax the tension in the legs. And let's go ahead and slowly start to release that. We can come into our bound pose or butterfly. This just means the soles of the feet come together, the knees are open. And I'm going to show you a little bit on the side because we want to come into our cow face as we're coming into our butterfly. So we're going to have the cow face on for the arms. So for the cow face, grab the belt with one hand, one arm. It comes all the way back. As the belt comes back and you're hanging on, it centers in the mid part of your back. So grab the belt, start to cinch up. Let that other hand come down. Let the other arm move up. So bottom hand starts to crawl up. Top hand crawls down. Center of the vertebrae. Come back into that bound angle pose here. Knees open, butterfly. Elbow lifts up towards the ceiling. Bring the gaze up so that it presses that arm that's behind us back. Opens up here. Heart forward, lifting. Our abs are tight, tucked in. Our glutes are grounded. Knees are open. And let's exhale. We're just going to move to the other side. So now the belt comes to the opposite shoulder, the opposite arm. Remember, you're going to get a good grip on the belt. The arm comes down, lengthening down the vertebrae. You can help the elbow draw up towards the ceiling. And then take that other arm, it's from down below as it crawls up with the fingertips, trying to reach up towards the other fingers. Once you have it, you might have been bent forward. Try to lengthen tall through the spine. Bring the gaze right to the horizon so that you're pressing slightly back or giving a little bit of tension to the opposite arm as it presses open. And then just come back to the breath. Lengthen the spine. Letting the navel tuck in towards the spine as we lengthen through the back. And let's exhale. Slowly start to release that. You can bring the belt to one side or the other. We want to come up off the ground. We're going to come into our cat-cow. You can use your cushion for the knees, or you can use it or not use it. So coming to our hands, our knees, we're having all fours here. Remember, hips align with our knees, shoulders align with our wrists. Spread through the fingers. Try to press through the knuckles and the fingertips. If this hurts your wrist, you can always make fists. Still lengthening here. We're going to inhale, drop the spine, look forward. Expanding breath. As we exhale, coming into that cat compression breath, navel to spine, chin to chest. Inhale, cow. Exhaling, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhaling, cat. As we're in cat, we're going to do barrel. So we're going to move over our ribs to the side, then drop as we gaze forward, inhaling. As we exhale, we move to the opposite side, then come all the way back up through cat. 2 more times to the side, like you're moving through, scraping the barrel. And so we're moving through cat and cow as we scrape the barrel. 1 more breath in this direction, inhaling, exhaling. Moving back up to our cat position, we're going to move the opposite direction. So we're going to move our ribcage to the other side, drop the spine, inhale. Exhale as we move the spine, ribcage to one side, all the way up through cat. Again, scraping the barrel as we move through cat and cow. 1 more time. All the way back up into our cat. As we're in cat, let's release all the way back into our extended child's pose. So glutes to heels, draw the arms, hands forward, release the forehead. Taking nice deep breaths as we're opening the shoulders here. We want to move into our puppy pose. So just slowly come back up. Bring the forearms down. Make sure we have shoulder and elbow alignment. Pressing into the forearms. Inhale here, nice flat back. Those abs tuck in, navel to spine. Then exhale, head comes between the arms. Allow the heart to drop as well, so you're opening up through the shoulder blades. And if you want to add to this, into the arms and shoulders, instead of pressing into your elbows and forearms, let's extend and press into the palms of the hands so the elbows and forearms are off the ground. This is an option you can try. If it doesn't work for you, come back to the forearms and elbows. Let's exhale, start to come back up, whether we're on forearms or palms of hands, and let's walk it back. We want to come into our camel's pose. So let's grab a brick or ball if we have one. We want to also tighten our pelvic floor and our inner thighs. So let's bring the brick or ball between the inner thighs, right above the knees. And you can always use hand support or fist support for our low back. We want to squeeze the glutes. We want to start lifting like there's a string attached to our heart chakra, lifting up into the sky. So we're lifting, we're rolling those shoulders back, our glutes are tight. We're keeping our hip alignment with our knee as we come back. So open through the heart. Remember to breathe here. So we're not holding the breath as we come back. And if there's any neck problems, remember to just bring that gaze forward. You could still open through the heart, the chest, the shoulders. You can still extend through the hips while gazing forward. And let's exhale. As we exhale, bring us back up. Remove the brick. You can always put the brick between the legs and on the floor to help elevate our glutes as we come back into child's pose. So bringing it back into regular child's pose. Remember, regular child's pose can have palms face up, arms extended, forehead to the ground, or if that's uncomfortable, bring stacked hands, maybe fists here for the forehead, maybe stacked arms. You could even use another brick. So if you have another brick available, you can use the brick and allow the forehead to rest on the brick. Let's go ahead and start to come up here. We want to move into our legs and hips to warm them up. So we're going to come all the way up, back to camel, and this time we're going to bring one leg forward. Remember, we have that hip-knee alignment. Let's crawl the foot forward by using our toes to bring them forward by scrunching them. And then our knee, we want to bend it. So now we're opening up this hip. As we bring our hips forward, knee bends. Points the same direction as your toes, but you have knee-ankle alignment. You can always bring both hands right here on top of that knee. You can also open up the arms and reach up, lengthening through the spine, and opening the heart would be palms face forward, cactus or goalpost arms. As we lift, you can start to bring the gaze slightly up. We're going to move into our revolving side angle pose. So start to bring that left hand all the way down underneath the shoulder. Right hand could be on the right knee or opposite. I'm not going to say left and right. So bringing that arm down that's opposite of your leg that's bent. Opening, supporting, and then starting to lengthen with that other arm upwards. Stacking the shoulders, lengthening through the spine. Remember to come back into the breath. We're going to exhale, bring that other hand down like we're coming up into a lunge. So it's on the other side of the leg foot. Remember the torso's on the inside of that leg so that we can extend. So let's curl the toes and start to lift the knee so that we're in our low lunge. From low lunge, maybe popping that back leg a little bit closer. Keep the knee ankle alignment here. We're going to extend like we would for our pyramid pose. Maybe this knee doesn't extend all the way. That's okay. We're not trying to lock it out either. So keep a micro bend in the knees. But we are trying to extend as much as we can. Then let's exhale, rebend the knee. Back into our lunge pose. Let's inhale. We're going to extend back into that pyramid pose. Remember, you can always use bricks here to try and flatten through the back. So maybe we have each brick for each hand as we lengthen, flatten through the back. And then start to bend that knee, opening the hip again. Let's inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the knee, gaze forward, heart forward, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, last one. Go ahead and press the knee back down into the ground. You can move the bricks. We're going to start to come back. So this is when you could grab another brick for the other side of your glute, because our same glute to same heel, we're going to come all the way back. And maybe just to extend through the leg, maybe our glute doesn't come to the heel. So it's not necessary, but you can bring the glute to the heel. Drawing toes up. And nice deep breaths here. Once again, you might need the bricks to try to extend through our back and lengthen. And start to bend that knee. We're going to pick up that opposite knee, coming back into our low lunge, and we're going to step it or hop it forward. Hip width distance apart. Monkey pose. Inhale, flat back. Roll the shoulders back. Option to bring the gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands back to the ground. Let's step the opposite leg back. Coming into low lunge. So we're lifted on the ball of the foot. Remember, this knee is bent right above the ankle. Arm there. And try and bring the torso to the inside so that we can flatten the back. So the medial side of the leg that is bent. And let's release the knee. Coming back up. Hands can come to the knee. We can lengthen through the torso. Remember, left or knee bends right above the ankle. Toes point forward. You can also bring it all the way up. Inhale, lengthen through the back. Palms forward, goalpost arms or cactus arms. Extending, opening the heart, shoulders roll back. You can bring the gaze up. And let's go ahead and start to release. We're going to take that opposite arm to the bent leg. Bring it down right underneath the shoulder. Extending through the opposite. Keep the length in the back. The extension in the hips here. The knee bent. Opening through the arms. Finding the breath. And let's exhale. Slowly release down. We're going to come into our pyramid and our low lunges here. So keep those toes curled. Lift the knee. Low lunge. Let's start to inhale, lengthen through that front leg for our pyramid pose. Remember, it doesn't have to come absolutely straight. You could always use bricks on each side for the hands for support to try and lengthen and flatten our back. Let's come back into our low lunge. Low lunge, we roll the shoulders back, we shine the heart forward, we can bring the gaze forward. And inhale, back into pyramid. Nice deep breaths. Let's exhale back into our low lunge. Remember, you can always keep the knee on the ground as well for a modification. That's an option. Inhaling into pyramid. And exhale back into the lunge. So remember, if we do it on the knee, we can bring the knee down. And as we inhale, we just lengthen that front leg and then bring it back. So from here, let's lift the knee again. Low lunge. And let's exhale, bring the knee down. We are coming back. And we're going to come all the way back till the leg lengthens and the toes up towards the ceiling. You can use bricks for the hands. Flattening through the back, toes up towards the ceiling for the front toes. Nice deep breaths here. And if the glutes happen to come all the way back onto your heel, you could always use an extra brick for the opposite glute that is not on a heel. Starting to come forward again. Maybe moving the bricks out to the side here. Let's lift that right knee and pop or jump it forward so that we're hip width distance apart. Inhale, flatten through the back. Option to bring the gaze forward for our monkey pose. Exhale, forward fold. As we're in forward fold, we want to lengthen through these legs more, some hamstring work. So we're going to move it into gorilla pose. Gorilla pose. Still hip width distance apart. And our knees are micro bent and soft. We can have a flat back here, especially for those of us that have a hard time moving all the way forward or too much pressure on the head. Let's lift into our toes and bring the heel grounded. The same hand, same foot. You're going to step sole of foot onto the palm of hand. Keep the knees soft. Have the toes come into the bend of the wrist. Lift the opposite. Same thing, bringing it down. You're stepping the soles of the feet onto the palms of the hands and the bend in the wrist. So those knees are soft enough or bent enough that we can bring the hands underneath. As we breathe and we let go of the head, the shoulders, the neck, the back, we're going to lengthen through the legs. Nice deep breaths here. Starting to slowly release one hand at a time. Let's inhale into half back. Grab a brick or ball. We're going to place it between the inner thighs again so that we can get inner thighs and pelvic floor working. Nice flat back, hinging at the knees just slightly, so a micro bend in our knees to keep our joints strong. Abs are tucked in. We have a flat back. And let's bring it right into our airplane pose. So palms face forward. Then we're going to extend back towards the back wall. Palms now face the floor. Heart rolls forward. Shoulders roll back. Lengthen all the way through the back. So you have a nice flat back. Those abs are tucked in. We're squeezing our inner thighs. Nice deep breaths in our airplane pose. Good, and exhale, we're going to sweep those arms by our legs. We're going to hinge back into our chair pose. So chair pose, you can have hands on knees. Remember, knee alignment with the ankles not surpassing your toes. So if I point my fingers down, my fingers should not surpass my toes. My glutes come back. I'm hinging at the glutes as well as the knees and lengthen back. We could also bring palms forward facing, elbows tucked into the side, shoulders rolled back. We can move into lengthened arms here, extending directly from the shoulders. Concentrating on the breath. We have one more breath. And let's exhale. Slowly hinge up. Arms come to the side. Then we're going to inhale, lengthen all the way up and over. Bring the gaze up. Press the soles of the feet to the ground. Squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the inner thighs as we lengthen up. Exhale, bring palms together, hands to heart. As we come palms together, hands to heart. Soles of the feet, hip width distance apart, squeezing that brick. Let's inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, palms open up, T-pose. And rotate palms facing down. As we're squeezing the inner thighs, let's rotate at the waist. One arm forward, one arm back. Look behind the other shoulder. Remember, hips are forward facing, stabilizing with the legs. Move it back to center. So as you notice, my hips stayed in place all the way down, grounding into the soles of my feet. We're just moving at the waist, twisting the opposite direction. And let's move it back forward. We're going to just keep this extension and tension through the arms, our dynamic tension here, extending through the fingertips, looking over the shoulder that's behind you. Keeping those abs tight, inner thighs tight, drawing up and inward from tailbone to crown of head. Moving back. And release the arms. We're going to keep the grip there and keep our legs tight. Let's find that hip width distance apart. Inhale, lengthen up through the arms. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, monkey pose. Lengthen through the back. Option to bring the gaze forward. Exhale, soften the knees, palms of hands come down. We want to make it all the way into our downward facing dog. Nice deep breaths here. Let's inhale, bring it into plank pose. So align shoulders with wrists. Abs are nice and tight, tucked in, extending through the heels. And let's move it all the way back into our downward facing dog. Exhale. We're going to move forward on an inhale, extend through the inhale. Imagine the energy extending through the crown of the head. Exhale, draw it back. Drawing that energy all the way down through the backs of the legs, into the heels as they sink. Inhale, coming forward into plank. Go ahead and gently drop to the knees. If you need, grab another brick. You have an option here, grabbing the bricks. We want to move from kneeling plank into our crocodile. So remember, crocodile's elbows to the rib cage. So here, find yourself in your kneeling plank. So nice flat back, knees are grounded, arms, shoulders aligned. Draw the elbows into the rib cage. Hinge at the elbows until the heart comes down to the bricks. Then press back up. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge at the elbows. Flatten the back. Inhale. Pressing back up. Exhale. Last one. Crocodile. And inhale back up. Let's exhale. Bring it back. We're going to move the bricks. And we're going to remove the brick between the thighs. Let's go ahead and move all the way back into an extended child's pose. Coming forward, we want to bring it to our half bow pose. So let's come all the way forward first. Kneeling plank again, arms aligned, shoulders aligned with the wrists and hands. Lengthen through the back, shoulders round back. Tuck those abs in. Draw the elbows in. We're going to move through crocodile, keeping that flat back as we come all the way down. As we come all the way down, you can bring it to the forearms. Kick up one leg, toe points. Take that same side arm And we're going to extend through the wrist, so only the fingertips are going to wrap around the top part of the foot. If this doesn't work, you could also bring it down to the ankle and dorsiflex the foot. It depends on you, which one ever feels better. Let's go ahead and bring the torso gazing forward again. Stabilize that opposite arm, elbow grounded below the shoulder. And then the arm can come across and the fingers can point the same direction as the leg that is bent. Nice deep inhales and exhales as you feel the quads stretch. So you should start to bring the heel towards the glute and the shoulder rolls back, lengthening both through the chest, the leg. And you can even press into that hand, which also opens you up. And let's gently release that. We're going to move to the opposite side. So stabilize your arm. Kick up the other leg. Remember, fingertips either around the top part of the foot, or you can move it down to the ankle and dorsiflex the toes. Keeping yourself forward facing again. Knee extends directly behind you. Nice deep breaths. You can also press in to the hand or fingertips. Let's exhale from our half bow. We're going to bring both hands forward. Let the hips extend through the legs here, pointed toes. And let's stack hands. So palms are face down, elbows out to the side. And we're going to release the forehead on top of the hands that are stacked. And as we do, let's roll the head to one side. So as the hands are stacked, elbows out to the side, you're rolling the head from one side to the other while keeping it stable and on top of the hands. And remember, you're using the breath, so you're going at the same rhythm and speed as your breath comes in and out of the nose. And then we're going to release that. Let's come into our Sphinx pose. So shoulder, elbow alignment, forearms down, heart forward, pressing into the fingertips, fingers all point forward, hips are grounded, the navel tucks in towards the spine. So we're tucking in, rolling the shoulders back, trying to press the heart forward, bring the gaze forward, lengthen tall. So imagine a string coming from the crown of the head. As it lifts up towards the ceiling, you're lengthening through the neck, you're bringing that gaze forward, you're pressing into the forearms. Shoulders are lengthening back and squeezing together as the heart shines forward. And let's exhale, release. So as we release, let's bring our arms back. Palms facing our body. We're going to come into locust pose. Let's go ahead and relax for a moment. Starting to draw the navel into the spine. We're going to come up on an inhale, lift through the crown of the head, lift the legs, lift the toes that are pointed, then extend through the arms as they reach back. Toes and fingertips all reaching back, shoulders squeezing back in our locust, heart lifted, and we're breathing. So make sure to breathe in and out of the nose. And let's go ahead and release down. Bring the hands by each side of the chest. Tuck those elbows in. Kneeling plank as we inhale, press up. As we exhale, let's bring it all the way back. This time, wide-legged extended child's pose. So as we come glutes to heels, open the knees. Remember, if you're not quite able to get on the heels or you need some extra support, the brick can come back there so that it gives your glutes a little bit of extra support and lift. Bring the hands forward. Release the forehead. Coming back to that breath. Coming forward, we're going to add a little bit of balance with our eye of the needle today. We're going to move into eye of the needle. So here we have hip width distance apart, knees aligned with our hips, flat in the back, shoulders, arms all aligned. Here we're going to take our hand, we're going to move it first into our windmill. So inhale, stack shoulders, lengthen back, lift up towards the ceiling. Let's hold this for 5 breaths today. Just for today. Nice deep breaths. And let's exhale. So for eye of the needle, remember we're going to sweep that arm, palm faces up through the eye, which is between the leg and the arm. Release the head. Release the shoulder. You can extend the hand forward. You can also walk it to that opposite side, opening the shoulders more. And now to add balance, this is just an option. Taking that same leg that we're already looking towards that direction. So start to peel the toes underneath. Draw back, extend through the leg. The heel points towards the ceiling. The toes are grounded into the floor. Finding that alignment first and balance before we lift the leg. When you're ready, you can start to lift the heel. Toes point down to keep that alignment so that we don't tip over. So we're directly lifting from that hip towards the ceiling. And let's gently exhale, release that all the way back underneath the hips. Release the arm, press into the hand. Come all the way back up onto all fours. Let's inhale back into cow, gaze forward, shine the heart forward. And exhale into our cat. Inhale, just lengthening back to that flat back. We're going to do the opposite arm. So let's inhale into our windmill. Nice flat back, opening through the heart, through the arms, through the back. Nice deep breaths. We have 4 more breaths here for today. And let's exhale. Start to sweep under through that side until we're able to sweep. Our shoulder comes down, the head comes down. You can always keep the hand, arm, and kickstand. Or you can extend forward and walk it over. Remember to add balance is an option. Tuck the toes, extend back, heel is lifted, and then slowly find that alignment, that balance as we lift up through the heel. Toes point down. And let's exhale, slowly release down. Release the knee. Release the hand back into kickstand. Press all the way back up onto all fours. Nice deep inhale as we come into our cow. And our exhale into cat. Again, inhale into our cow. And exhaling into our cat. Inhale, flat back. We're going to bring it all the way down to our glutes. We want to do a little more stretching the arms with our tabletop pose. We're also going to move into our boat pose and engage our abs. So let's find that flat back, sitting tall. Maybe we're hanging on to the backs of the legs. Remember, you can always use a brick under the glutes. It helps heighten the glutes. So an option is to bring a brick underneath. Feet still are hip width distance apart. Knees are bent. Lengthen through the back. Heart shines forward. You can bring the hands back. Make sure that the fingertips point forward. So for tabletop, you're going to inhale and draw the glutes up. If you don't draw the glutes up, you can keep them on top of that brick and just lift through the heart. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. The exhale, we bring the glutes back down. So moving again, let's inhale to tabletop. And exhale, release. Inhale to tabletop. And this time, let's hold our tabletop. Extend through one leg, straight forward. Then bring it back. Let's extend through the opposite leg, straight forward. Bring it back. And gently release. Now from here, you can keep those hands back and extend through the legs as we have our boat pose. You could also do bent knee boat. So either one, hip width distance apart, or you can come up all the way, balancing on those glutes. You can hang on to the legs here. You could also extend. Remember to breathe. And let's go ahead, release. As we release, move slightly forward. We want to roll back onto our mats or onto our backs. So hanging onto the backs of the legs, round the back. Come all the way back, knees to chest. Lift the head, bring the forehead towards the knees. Let's gently rock left and right. And if you have a belt, bring that close by. We're going to release the soles of the feet on the ground. Let's lift up one leg. If you do have a belt, let's bring the belt around the ball of the foot. If you don't, just extend through that leg. You can grab a hold of the leg. Nice deep breaths. Remember the back is flat, pressing into the floor. The other sole of the foot is grounded here. Lengthening through that leg. Go ahead and release that. We're going to release the belt. Bring that leg down. Opposite leg. Lengthen. Remember, you can just use hands, elbows bend and soften. Lengthen through the leg. Dorsiflex the toes. Or bring the belt around the ball of the foot. Same thing. Same extension. Finding the breath, moving in and out of the nose, bringing our attention back to the breath. And we're going to gently release that. Bring both back down. So as we have both soles of the feet back down here, bringing the heels close to the glutes, palms come to the ground, arms extend. We want to move into our modified bridge. Once again, you can use the brick underneath the hips or glutes. And that could be the modified bridge here as we tuck the abs in, let the shoulders roll back, lift through the heart. If not the brick, lift the glutes. Same thing, shoulders still rolling back, arms still extended, heart is still open. Knees are hip width distance apart. You want to add a little bit of pelvic floor and inner thigh work. You just bring the brick between the thighs, still lifting and squeezing the brick together. Focus on the breath. As we inhale, we expand through the abs. As we exhale, it's navel to spine contracting. One more breath. Nice deep breath. Let's release slowly back to the ground. Remove the brick or the ball. Draw the knees back to the chest. And gently rock side to side. And then let's bring our knees right above our hips so we have our tabletop pose. Shins are the tabletop. Let's open up the arms. Palms are going to face upward. Nice deep breath. Let's exhale. Allow the navel to sink into the spine and even press the back into the floor. So you activated your back muscles, your abs. It's pressing down into the ground. And when you're ready, allow the legs to move to one side. Allow the hips to twist. Allow the waist. Keep the arms open. Keep the arms and shoulders grounded and the gaze up. You can always have the option of taking the opposite hand to the lateral side of that leg, pressing down towards the floor. Refocusing on the breath, and maybe even gently shutting the eyes as we focus on the breath and allow the breath to move through the body. Feeling the expansion on the inhales and the exhales. We're feeling that tension, that stress, just release from the body, from the mind. And then we're going to gently release that leg back to arms open. Draw knees towards the chest. Tighten those abs, round the back. Come back to center. Let's give ourselves a big hug. Squeeze the knees into chest. Gently rocking left and right here. And when we're ready for the opposite side, we're going to release the back, head, neck, shoulders back down. Open the arms, palms face up. Start to find that knee-hip alignment. Tighten those abs. Press the back down into the floor. Nice deep breaths as we have tight abs pressing into the floor. Let's start to move to the opposite side. Remember, you're twisting at the waist, the hips, but the shoulders and arms will stay on the ground. An option here is to take the opposite arm hand to the opposite leg on top and pressing down towards the floor. Another option would be able to turn the head and look the opposite direction, stretching all the way through the neck. You can gently soften the eyes and start to come back into focus with our breath. Deep inhales expanding through the body, and the exhales releasing that tension, stress, letting go. Each breath, letting go just a little bit more. And we're going to release that arm, hand. Remember to tighten those abs, let the knees come towards the chest, round the back. Come back to center. We're going to give ourselves a good squeeze again. Tighten, squeeze the knees towards the chest. You can lift the head. You can rock. You can rock back and forth. You can rock up and down. You could rock around in circles, maybe grabbing the knees. You can start to release the head back into the floor and just make knee circles here as we hang on to the knees. And then moving the opposite direction, still hanging on to the knees. Bringing those knee circles here. Finding the breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose, knees back towards the chest. Let's dorsiflex the feet, bring the arms, hands back down, and just extend up the wall, our imaginary wall here. So imagine the glutes and the legs are against a wall, and you're extending hip width distance apart. Toes come dorsiflexed towards the nose or the face. And then the arms, it's up to you. So right now your abs are tight. You're pressing the abs in the back fully into the floor here. We're activated. Our legs are lengthened all the way through the heels. The arms are up to you, whether they're palms face down, palms upward. You can also come into those cactus arms to open through the shoulders and the chest. You can also lengthen those arms all the way overhead. Palms can still face upward. And you can even rotate where the palms, instead of facing upward, you rotate thumbs out to the side, palms face the floor, and bring it back down and keep those soft elbows. Wherever you feel like having this stretch, this length here today. So if you had them over the head, let's do palms face upward again, and bend the elbows and draw down towards the rib cage while trying to keep the hands and arms on the ground. So maybe we don't make it all the way there. We're just partway there. Let's go ahead and rotate. Bring the palms face down again. Lifting through the legs. Bend the knees. Release. We're getting ready for Shavasana here. So allow the knees to be bent for a moment. Let's find the breath. Let's open the arms. Palms face up. And just take a moment to have gratitude here. So a smile to the face. Eyes are shut. Breathing in and out of the nose. Taking a moment to have some thoughts of gratitude here for our body, for our mind, for this quiet place we've created. This time that we've had for ourselves. Recentering our body, our mind, our thoughts. And when you're ready, the full Shavasana, you can release the legs. You can allow the feet, the legs to be open here. You want to be relaxed. You want to be comfortable. The palms face up. Nice deep breaths here, relaxing into the mat. If this isn't comfortable for you, you could always bring blankets or pillows. It always helps to have bent knees if you have any low back issues. Or you can come all the way up and still lengthen. Focusing and centering our breath today. So here we are going to imagine an indigo blue ball. And it's right here in front of the third eye. As we inhale, we're drawing that indigo blue ball in through the third eye, all the way into the pineal gland between left and right brain. And as we exhale, imagine it coming all the way up through the crown of the head. And again, inhale, drawing it into the pineal gland. Exhale, letting it come through the crown. And then starting to release that as our mind has cleared. I appreciate the beauty in all things. I have the right to create magic and fantasy. I trust my inner guidance, my intuition. I have the ability and the imagination to bring my ideas to reality. I am intuitive. I allow my inner guidance to access my deepest wisdom. I am connected to the wisdom of the universe. I believe that I am unlimited in my capacity for health and happiness. I let go of the past and I move into the now, into this present moment. And appreciating all the beauty that is around me in this present moment. Having appreciation for my body, for my mind. Having gratitude for my body, for my mind. Allowing my intuition to be connected to my heart. As I am guided by my intuition. Starting to take deep breaths here. And as we experience the now, the present moment, we feel the expansion of our breath as it moves through the body. And we feel the exhales release, relaxing, letting go of the past, staying in the present moment. A few more deep centered breaths here. And you could gently start to reawaken the body by bringing movement to the fingers, the toes. As we bring movement to the fingers, the toes, we can take this opportunity to stretch overhead and even contracting those abs, lengthen, stretching. Nice contraction as we lift just gently through the body, through the arms, maybe the head, the shoulders, and the feet. And then we're going to release back down. Relaxing the body on that exhale. Let's inhale and contract again. Maybe point the toes this time. And we exhale, release. Last time, stretching overhead. We can now move to our side in our fetal position. And coming to our left side. Nice deep breath. Maybe even exhaling, drawing knees towards the chest, rounding the back. And when you're ready, we can press through the palms of the hands. Try to use arm strength to push us back up off the floor as we come all the way back into our sitting position. Thank you for joining me for yoga today. Namaste.